Howdy folks, and welcome back to the good, the bad and the ugly in World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Our first replay of 3 that we're going to be showing today is Lol's Man Boy in the T-54E1 American Tier 9 medium tank, the autoloader, here in a random battle on the Ensk map. Now, Lol's Man Boy has been featured on the channel before, and he said when he sent this replay and that the last time I showed one of his games he couldn't help but watch it over and over and over for the best part of a week, such is the price of fame. Well, best alert your relatives that you're going to be busy for the next 7 days because we're showing this game too. So, the T-54E1. I have to admit, this is not a tank I've ever been in any rush to unlock. The mobility is nothing special at all. The power to weight ratio is not very good. Its top speed is not that much faster than the Centurion, and the Centurion is not the kind of tank that's ever going to set any speed records. Close quarters combat agility isn't too bad, however. It has a hull traverse of 44 degrees per second, which is pretty good, and a turret traverse of 36 degrees per second, which isn't bad. The armour is, well, the best thing you could say about the armour is it's not bad. It's 152mm at the most, and that only at the front. The turret can be kind of trollish. The turret armour itself isn't very thick, but there aren't really any flat surfaces on the turret, so the turret's not bad. But the thing about this tank is the gun. Now, it's horrifically inaccurate, 0.4 accuracy. It's got a long aiming time. It only has 210mm of penetration with standard ammunition, but it does 390 average damage per shot, which means that with a full clip of 4 shells from the magazine of this thing, you can do just short of 1600 damage in a very, very short period of time indeed. In fact, you wouldn't be too far off the mark if you imagine the T-54E1 as a sort of underpowered Mark 7 Centurion with a 105mm gun that had been nerfed to hell in the penetration and the accuracy and the aiming time department, but had been given a 4-shot magazine. And that's pretty much what the T-54E1 is. And that poor old Ferdinand, he's doing the best he can. He's trying to waggle his armour to maximise his chances of not dying, but, well, 3 shots, done. With some assistance from the IS-3, 1 shot remaining, and there's that horrible aiming time. Plants it into the T-32, and then takes cover. Now, the IS-3 is actually going to have a pretty good game here, despite the fact that the very first hit he took almost all of his health and set him on fire when that Ferdinand unloaded right into his face. He's not actually going to get any kills, but he is going to finish this match with a Confederate medal. And he's going to be the next best member of Lol's Man Boy's team. Now, his gun's almost reloaded. And that T-32 around the corner, well, it would be rude not to under these circumstances, would it? Spot surprise butt sex takes him out. We see a lot of dubious decisions from that ST1, by the way. Why he did not kill that Tiger. We're not complaining, of course, because it means Lol's Man Boy got to pump 3 shots into him and finish him off. He's reloading again, of course, but what was the ST1 doing? Why would you turn your back on a Tiger and just drive off like that and not stop and kill him? Instead, he's going after these low health tanks over here when he could have just, I don't know. It's not the last dubious decision we're going to see that guy making, but for now, Lol's Man Boy is almost reloaded and he's going after this Yak Panther 2, and that's when a surprise steerer and mill pops up. Tucks himself in as best he can, hoping that the truck in front of him is going to take the shot, but he does take a hit from the Stuart and Mill. Not sure what gun he was using. It was either a low damage roll for the 128 or a very high damage roll for the 105, but probably the 128. It doesn't matter, he's dead. Lol's Man Boy isn't. He's got 1 shot remaining. He figures that Centurion Mark 7 is going to be dead before he can get around the corner and put the shot into him, so he goes for the reload. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd be wrong. It's our friend the ST1 again. Now the Centurion is a 1-shot kill, and he only has the 20-pounder gun. Well, Lol's Man Boy can't actually shoot him, but he can keep him tracked. Keeps driving into the tracks, doing a little bit of damage, and resetting the repair timer on the track module. The ST1 eventually gets all of his shit into 1 sock, and finishes him off. That IS-3, still alive, for now, and still doing damage, even though he hasn't gotten any kills. Lol's Man Boy is reloaded. And with the exception of that Waffenträger Panzer IV down to the southern end of the map, it appears that all of the remaining tanks on the enemy team are up that end. So he decides he's going to go after the Waffenträger. Now he's going to need good damage rolls. They don't have to be that good, but he doesn't need any low damage rolls, and he can kill this guy. And that's when disaster strikes. Or at least you'd think so. Because this Jagdpanther must be drunk. But oh, hang on a minute. T-44 just turned up to support the Waffenträger and an E-75, and he's only got 2 shots left. Tucks himself in beside the wreck of the Jagdpanther and prepares to make a stand. But with 3 tanks, all with a lot of help, and he only has 2 shots remaining, doesn't like the look of those odds, so he starts backing up. He can get a good shot here if any... Oh, whoa, 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 that changes things. Okay, he's got to get out of here. He's going to have to take a hit from the Lerva, who bounces off his turret. Holds his fire until he can pump it into the side of the Lerva, and then, well, the mobility of this thing, not great. He was always going to take a shot there, but the Lerva does not come out to finish him off with a second shot before he can get around into the safety of this building up here, and the reason for that is because of our friend in the ST1 who's just popped out at the bottom of the road. The Waffenträger finishes off the M46 Korea. The ST1 waiting for a shot at the E75. While he's doing that, the Lerva pops out, plants one into him from this side, the E75 hits him from the front, and the ST1 kills the E75. Lolsman Boy, reloaded, comes out, nails the Lerva. Oh, T-44 hits him from the front. The Waffenträger now has that ST1 all to himself, and does kill him. Meanwhile, T-44 has vastly superior mobility to a T-54E1. He does take another hit from the T-44, 1 shot remaining, finishes him off. Now it's a one-on-one, and that Waffenträger Panzer IV knows exactly where he is, and he's reloading, and the Waffenträger's still got all of his health. Lolsman Boy doesn't. That Waffenträger just has to fart in his general direction, and he's dead meat. So, bit of a stalemate. So what's that pesky little German bugger up to? Oh shit! Move! 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 Whoa, that was close. And oh, that was actually a very smart move from the Waffenträger. He's now made it into the cap circle, so he's forcing Lolsman Boy to take the initiative here. In a situation where Lolsman Boy would ideally want to get around the other side of the map and come at him from an... Well, here's the thing. Lolsman Boy is fully loaded. But 390 average damage per shot, that guy's got 1600 health. Do the math. He's going to need to get lucky with his damage rolls in order to clip this guy from full health, and that guy just has to hit him once. So, at the moment they're more than 50 meters apart from each other, so it's only when they're in direct line of sight of each other that they both appear in each other's view range and on the map. So he's trying his luck out here. He doesn't have an awful lot of space to maneuver on the side of this railway station. And that's his one advantage, that there are 2 possible... Oh, wow, no. This is, basically, this Waffenträger, he knows which building he's hiding behind at any given time, because he gets spotted as he moves between the gaps between the buildings. Once he disappears from the map, however, he's then got a 50-50 chance of having his gun pointed in the right direction, depending on which side of the building Lolsman Boy decides to try his luck on. And 50-50, those are not good odds. You might be able to get 1 shot into him, possibly 2, assuming he's facing in the wrong direction, but that's not going to be enough to kill him. And then he's going to shoot you, and, well, you have less than 200 health, so that's not really going to work out too well for you. We need a plan. And while we're waiting, I think we need some elevator music. Oh, hang on a minute. Looks like he's thinking about it. He's going to go for another drive-by. Oh, there he is. He moved. What? No! It bounced, or it went into his tracks or something. Oh, whatever. Oh, no. He's going to have to reload again. And yeah, the Waffenträger knows he's blown it. He's fired. Oh, no, he's repaired. Really? It went into... Was that high... That was high explosive. That's how he managed to damage the gun and the tracks at the same time. He thought, well, he's got less than 200 health, I'll just fire a high explosive shell into him. And it hit the gun barrel. Well, Lolsman Boy can't afford to hang around. He's getting the hell out. Oh, what? No way! You have got to be kidding. Into his tracks. You know, it's at moments like this when I'd love to be able to see the enemy team chat, because you just know that everybody left in that match, right? Everybody left in that match on the enemy team are all typing noob into chat right now. Even the guys on the team with absolutely no sense of irony whatsoever, you know, all the ones that did 0 damage in this match, they're all calling that Waffenträger a massive noob right now. Now, was high explosive the right choice of ammunition for that first shot? Because you'd think, well, he's got less than 200 health, high explosive, it's going to kill him. And yet, it hit the gun. The one part of the front of that tank where it was not going to be a guaranteed kill, and that's where the shot went. The thing is, though, if he'd had armor piercing loaded, he still hit the gun. I mean, it still wouldn't have knocked him out. It wouldn't have damaged the tracks as well, but either way, Lolsman Boy was still going to be in one piece. And that second shot, armor piercing, high explosive, don't know, but straight into the tracks. World's unluckiest Waffenträger driver, and he's not bad. I mean, he's leading the team on damage done and kills. But it's a Radley Walters for Lolsman Boy if you can catch this guy unawares. And relatively poor mobility or not, he's got all the time in the world now. Fully loaded magazine. The Waffenträger, well, he's not a one-shot kill, but he's not a 4 or 5 shot kill anymore either. So providing he can come at him from an unexpected direction, and he knows exactly where he is. He's inside that cap circle. And he has to be sweating bullets now, because it's been so long since he last saw Lolsman Boy's T-54E1 that he can't guarantee which side of the map he's going to be approaching him from. And Lolsman Boy's doing exactly the right thing. He's broken contact, he's come all the way around the other side of the map, maximising the chances that he's going to be able to get the first 2 or 3 shots off before that Waffenträger can react, and hopefully his gun's pointing in the other direction. All the Waffenträger can really do is back himself up against something solid and try to limit the avenues of approach that Lolsman Boy can use. 4 shots in the gun. There he is. He's facing the other way. Good damage roll. Low damage roll. Doesn't matter. 3rd shot's the charm. And Lolsman Boy's all, relax guys, I totally had this. Yeah, he might talk the talk, but I bet he didn't expect to come out of that game with a Radley Walters medal, not when he had less than 200 health left and was facing a full health Waffenträger Panzer IV. Anyway, our second replay is courtesy of Kookaburras. And this is a bit of a heartbreaker, although I guarantee not in the way you may be expecting. You know, I have to admit, every time this map starts up, I'm always thinking of the Battle of Monte Cassino. You've heard of Monte Cassino, right? Oh, what do they teach you kids in school these days? Okay, Abbey's an Italian map, and that's a monastery, and while you're sitting there waiting for the countdown timer, it's getting shelled by artillery. Monte Cassino was a monastery in Italy in World War II, and when the German army were pulling back up the spine of Italy, they decided to make a stand at Monte Cassino, and it had hundreds of thousands of tons of explosives dropped on it over the course of months, and the entire place was basically just reduced to a pile of rubble on top of the mountain before the Allies were able to dislodge the Germans and push further north into Italy. So, there you go. History with Jingles. Oh, hello. It's one of those Japanese OIs. Look at him. Thinks he's special. Thinks he's something clever. There's only one KV2 in this match. Well, actually, technically, there are 2 KV2s in this match, but, you know, there's one on the enemy team as well. And we're going to be seeing more of him in a moment. But the OI is a mere pretender to the throne of derp. The crown belongs on the head of the KV2. Now, while Kookaburras is driving around the side of the map, just pay attention. There's a Cromwell B on the enemy team. And that guy is the MVP of this match. Meanwhile, Kookaburras is finally getting himself into position. Hasn't spotted anything yet. Backs up, side scraping around the corner. Oh, enemy KV2. They both clutch shots off against each other, and they both miss. Churchill 3 pops up. Would have been kind of funny if Kookaburra's missed shot had accidentally hit him instead, but it didn't. The VK there, showing far too much at the side of his tank to be comfortable, and the OI has finally arrived. Kookaburra's almost reloaded, trying to reverse side scrape up around the corner there to get a shot off against those two enemy heavies, but the wrecked tank behind him is getting in his way. So he adjusts his position. Still only spotted the two enemy tanks down here, the KV-2 and the Mark III Churchill. Well, there goes the Churchill. Where did the KV-2 go? Kookaburras tries the reverse side scraping again. No sign of that KV-2. Huh. More importantly, no sign of anything else either. Oh, there he is. Alright then. Got to be worth a try, so he advances down the road. The Churchill's taken a hit or two from something. The KV-2 still on full health, and they're putting some effective fire into the tanks that have taken the high road and are facing them directly from the front, and there's still nothing else on the enemy team coming down this side of the map. Oh, this is gonna be good. There's the KV-2. And engine? No. Side of the turret. Yep. Surprise! It's me! Well, if he had to die, at least it was at the hands of another KV-2. Now, can he get up there and reload in time to kill the the Churchill as well? No, he can't. Oh well, never mind. So, only 2 enemy tanks came down this side of the map that we know of. Maybe there's something else come down this side of the map a little bit slower than a KV-2 and a Mark III Churchill. Only one way to find out. Now, while Kookaburras is advancing his position, you'll notice that the Cromwell B has already scored his first kill, and most of the action is going on either in the middle or on the far eastern side of the map. So far, only those 2 enemy tanks came down this western end of the map, which is good news for the 3 friendly tanks that came down this side to contest it with them. Uh-oh, it's an OI. Okay. Yeah. Derped him right in the front of the turret, bounced the return shot. Waiting to reload. You're never going to get away with that twice. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Oh, hang on, T40. T40's only tier 4, but having to point the gun around the side of the hill like that is going to give the T40 shots at the side of the turret. So he moves up. There he is. Looks like he's using the howitzer. If it's a howitzer on howitzer fight between a T40 and a KV-2, the T40 is never going to win. And what the hell was that? It wasn't the OI. That was something with a low caliber gun. And so was that. That is probably going to be the Matilda or the Crusader over there in the enemy base. Oh, and that tree falling has got to be the OI coming around to try his luck again. But Kookaburras has reloaded. Where is he? There he is. And bounces another shot from the OI. Yeah. There's only one King of Derp in this match, Sunshine, and you're not it. And it is the enemy Crusader. There he is. I can see you. That guy's got 6th sense. No question about it. Got spotted, instantly hauled ass. Kookaburras has reloaded again, going back, takes his time, aiming at the OI. This time the OI, moving the turret, snaps the shot, hits and penetrates. So Kookaburras took a lot of damage from that shot. But it doesn't matter because the OI is done. Friendly tanks have managed to sneak around. They're about to plant one in him. Meanwhile, have a look at the scores there. The OI goes down. There are now only 3 tanks left on the enemy team, but that Cromwell B has managed to score 5 kills so far. Still, it's 3 tanks against 6. 2 of them are spotted, and there's a KV-1 moving into the cap. All they have down there is the Matilda and the Crusader, and artillery is shelling the Crusader. He's disappeared. Oh, he moved. Turns the turret, not even fully aimed. Boom! Headshot. 6 against 2. Question is, though, where's that Cromwell B? He's actually about to score another kill. KV1 down there, there he goes, he's just killed the OI. Now the OI, at this point, Kookaburra starts to get a bit worried because the OI was over there. And the Cromwell B just killed him, so is he about to pop up behind Kookaburras? That could be very, very bad. He's not actually. The OI moved into the open. The Cromwell B is actually in the monastery in the centre of the map. Meanwhile, oh, cheeky shot there from the Matilda. And, well, I mean, this is an ambitious shot even for the KV2. I mean, all he could see was the top foot of his turret. There's the Cromwell B. He's actually sniping from the middle of the map. And that's incredibly bad news for the T-82 HMC. That Cromwell's about to claim it. There he is. Claimed his next victim. He's now on 7 kills. Kookaburras does not have a shot at him. Meanwhile, our friend, the world's worst KV1 driver, is still facing off against the same Matilda, and he's lost almost all of his health doing it. And he's only managed to hit that Matilda once. He's losing even more health. Artillery saves his ass. Okay, let's just assess the situation here. It's 4 against 1, but that Cromwell B on 7 kills is proving to be a remarkably tough customer. We've got a KV1 sitting a stone's throw away from the enemy cap circle. We have artillery support and a KV2 with his monster 152mm derp gun sitting in the perfect position to kill anybody who heads back and tries to reset the cap. If the KV1 would only move his ass and get into that cap circle, but he's just sitting there. Well, he's not completely stationary, he's kind of just moving a few feet forward and then moving a few feet backwards. He's pretty much just been doing that since the Matilda died. And then disaster strikes. The Cromwell has been spotted, and he's been spotted by one of the M37s, which means the Cromwell is about to get himself his Randy Walters medal. So that's not good. There's absolutely nothing that Kookaburras can do about that, and oh dear, kill number 9. He's now 1 kill away from a Pools medal. What is the KV1 doing? Well, if he's not going to move into the cap circle, Kookaburras is going to have to move his ass and try to do something about this Cromwell, so he turns the tank around, assuming, I presume, that the Cromwell B is going to attempt to cap. He has to know, given the last reported positions of the 2 tanks on Kookaburras' team, his KV2 and the KV1, that they're both right at the other end of the map, and neither of them are particularly quick machines. So it's a reasonable assumption to make that the Cromwell B is going to go and cap. The second Kookaburras is out of position and can't actually cover the friendly KV1 in the enemy cap circle anymore. That, of course, is when the KV1 finally decides, oh, I know, I'll go and sit in the cap circle. Look, you couldn't make this up. It's just another day with random battle teammates in World of Tanks. What's that Cromwell going to do? He's not capping, and he can obviously see that somebody on Kookaburras' team is capping. And if he was up here, and he was because he's just killed all of the artillery, which way is he going to be going in order to come down and reset that cap? Yeah. Kookaburras is not feeling very confident. He knows he has to get back and give some overwatch for that KV1 in the cap circle, but he doesn't want a surprise Cromwell B roving up his arse while he's doing it, so he's covering his bets. And oh, somebody just hit the KV1 and he's killed him. The Cromwell has managed to nail that KV1, who didn't even have the sense to hide behind something in the cap circle, and he's managed to do it without getting spotted. Which probably means he's gone back to his sniping spot. That's his Pools medal now, by the way. He's on 10 kills, which probably means he's gone back to his sniping spot there in the monastery. KV1 doesn't have particularly good view range. The KV2 doesn't have particularly good view range. I think it only has 330 meters. Hang on a minute, what's that? I've never noticed that before. You see that on that hill next to the KV2? There's a pair of park benches and some romantic-looking streetlights. Is that where all the Panzer IVs take the special Panzer 1Cs in their life for a romantic night out? It's really weird. I don't know how many times I've played Abbey. I have never noticed that before. Anyway, not strictly relevant. Kookaburras spends a long time in this position, shitting in his little Russian pants, waiting for that Cromwell B, to make the next move. And it takes some time, but eventually he does. The Cromwell B starts capping. Alright, so good side, bad side. Good side. You know more or less exactly where the Cromwell B is now. Also, he can't one-shot kill you. He's going to take 3 or 4 shots to take you out. However, on the bad side, KV2 only has a 330 meter view range. That Cromwell B is nobody's fool. He is going to be sitting somewhere in that cap circle, making the maximum possible use of concealment. There is no guarantee you're even going to see him if he starts shooting at you. He managed to kill the KV1 without giving his position away after all. Also in the negative column, the KV2 is not the fastest tank in the world, and you were right at the other end of the map when that guy started capping. And he's almost halfway there, and, well, 330 meter view range, you're not even guaranteed. You have to count on him seeing you first, which means he's at least going to get the first shot off. Or he could just count on the fact that it's going to be close and you may not get there in time before he just caps out if he holds his fire. Or he could try to blow your tracks off and buy himself some time. That's exactly what he does, and, as predicted, manages to take the shot without giving his position away. Now Kookaburras did pick up a bit of speed coming down that ramp, but then he's going to go up a ramp, and that's going to slow him down. And look at that cap counter. Whatever happens here, he's only going to get 1 shot. And the KV2 has a 4-second aiming time. And it's at 100. He's won. There he is. KV2 does not need to aim. He's done it. He's won. I told you this one was going to be a heartbreaker. I just didn't tell you who it was going to be a heartbreaker for. That poor Cromwell B. Pools medal, 10 kills, capped to 100%, and then had the invader taken from him at the very last possible second. That poor guy. Oh, it's not funny. Well, actually it is. No, it's not. I shouldn't be laughing. It's wrong to laugh. That kind of... Oh, man. I'm just glad I never got to see that replay from the perspective of the guy in the Cromwell B, because I would have... No, I'm done. Well, I'm not done, actually, because I did say there were going to be 3 replays in today's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and I'm not going to disappoint you. Get a load of this. This is Tutu in the M103, but it's not really about him. Well, it kind of is, but it isn't. What are you talking about, Jingles? Just watch. You'll understand. This is quite possibly both one of the best and worst things I have ever seen happen in a game of World of Tanks. And once you've seen it happen, I'm reasonably confident that you will agree too. The actual battle itself is not what we're watching this replay for. This is the point where things start to get interesting. There are 7 tanks, and they're capping. And there's only 1 Waffenträger E100 remaining on the enemy team. He's had his position ratted out by one of the IS-7s on his team. The IS-7 is telling Tutu's team where he is. Go and kill him. He's obviously extremely underwhelmed with the Waffenträger E100's performance. But, and I say this with some confidence, regardless of how badly that Waffenträger E100 may or may not have done up until this point in the battle, he is a bloody superstar compared to the 7 tanks remaining, including Tutu, on Tutu's team. Just watch this and be amazed, because I, for once, have no words to describe what it is you're about to see. But, well, I'll have a go. Despite actually being given written instructions by the enemy team on where to find and kill that Waffenträger, a minute later they still haven't found him. Watch that E100 in the water. Yep, that's right. 1 down, 6 to go. Not too long later, the AMX 1390 finally finds him, and the T-54 lightweight gets so excited he throws himself off the neighbouring cliff straight into the sea, and he drowns himself as well. 2 down, 5 to go. Very shortly afterwards, the second IS-7 launches himself off the cliff, does manage to take about 1,000 health off the Waffenträger, kills himself in the process. 1390 senses his moment, rushes over the ridge, Waffenträger shoots him in the face. Tutu, determined to succeed where all others have failed, well, very nearly succeeds, but does in fact fail. 5 down, 2 to go. Presumably working on the theory that the only thing that can kill a Waffenträger is another Waffenträger, the friendly Waffenträger decides to have a go. And predictably makes a complete pig's ear out of it. Still, at least he's not dead. He can have another shot as soon as his tracks come back up, and there they are. But hang on a minute, you know his gun's pointing this way, right? And he is a Waffenträger E100. Alright, 6 down, 1 to go. WZ132, all you have to do is cap. Let's not do anything crazy. Oh my god. And we're not making this up. This really happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World of Tanks. That's a Kolobanov's medal for the Waffenträger E100. That's it, I got nothing more. I can't possibly top that. Hope you enjoyed today's video, folks. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.